Start from there.
Well, a little bit of background about why we chose this topic. It's not an uncommon question when we go to clients. First of all, what they do, this anti-pattern that Jenny might bring up again a little later, is that they don't have a product owner. And this is the first problem that we discover. It's like, who's your product owner? And like,
yeah,
we don't
capital
have
A
one.
anti-pattern.
Yeah, capital A anti-pattern. We don't have a product owner. We don't. We're just letting the lead act as one for the ceremony's sake, and it's like, okay. So the question becomes like, who should be the product owner? And this is not a trivial question because this is not an old-time role. I mean, Scrum Master, you can kind of think of a project manager kindish person. If you just, tweak them a little bit, they're good to go. And developers are pretty clear, even though we broadened the scope a little bit. But product owner was kind of made up. And we've likened that term to a magic unicorn in the past. So who should actually staff this? Who should be in that role? And of course, there's lots of reasonable candidates to be in that role, but they have to do the two primary jobs of a product owner. And it's worth thinking about who can fulfill those duties. And just to sum it up real quickly, those duties are to thoroughly understand the consumers of the thing that the product backlog is building. Who's using it, and how they know they're going to be using it in an acceptable way. They have to really understand the acceptance criteria of those people who are using whatever you're building to say, yes, this is actually doing what I need to do, and it's doing it in an acceptable way. So they have to understand those people really, really, really well. And the second thing they have to do is they have to constantly interact with the team to share that knowledge, to constantly be answering questions, attending the ceremony, being there, available to that team on a consistent and almost continuous basis. Yeah, you can have gaps. You have to show up all the time. But if there's a question, you got to be able to answer it really quickly. You got to spend significant time with the team. And those are two sort of contradictory propositions in a way, right? How do we spend enough time with our consumers so that we understand them really, really well, but yet spend a lot of time with the team telling them about these consumers of the product that we're building? So who should fulfill that? And then we have to work out with these organizations to do it because they really often want to staff it inappropriately. They say, well, here's a free body that we had lying around that wasn't very busy. Let's make them product owner. It's like, well, I don't know if that's going to fulfill the two jobs that you have really for the product owner. Or let's take a product manager who lives 14 countries away in 7 time zones, who never wants to talk to the team. Let them be the product owner because don't they own the product? And that's part of the problem too, is the name itself sounds like they should be the one who owns the product, who decides the fate of the product. It's like, I don't know if that's really the best solution either, because that part of the job is not being met anymore. So it's worth talking about who should be in that role and understanding that role a little bit. Who's going to be doing it and who's going to represent all those consumers, not just the people using the product, but also, in a little sense, the future developers. Someone who has to be able to enhance this product in the future. They're a consumer of what you're building right now, too. And so that product owner has to really understand all that. Jenny?
And I would agree with all of that. The one maybe little slight nuance I would add is that interact with the team, right? It's that ability to take the needs and wants, and as you call them, value paths of all of the stakeholders I've now understood, and translate that into something that the technical team, that the developers can actually understand and build, right? And that translation layer is sometimes one of the challenging aspects in staffing the product owner role, right? If I really understand the business, but I don't know how to translate that into something consumable by the team, that's going to be a big problem there. So not only do I have to be readily available, I also have to be kind of the translation layer between the business and the technical staff.
Right. I'm going to pile on that a little bit. I want to be a little careful, Jenny. Maybe you and I can debate this.